Hindu Physicians. Welcome to Hindu Physicians International's webinar series. Those of you who are aware of Hindu Physicians International, this is our logo, and I'll talk a little bit about concept. So Hinduism or Sanatan Dharma is one of the oldest religions, philosophical and spiritual tradition. It's the longest uninterrupted civilizational philosophy. There are almost 1.2 billion followers worldwide, and Sanatan Dharma believes in Vasudhaiv Kutumbakam. All the word is one family. Manav Seva is Madhav Seva. So we believe in serving the humanity. There are multitudes of faith-based medical charities that provide humanitarian relief. Kindly, everyone, mute yourself. There are multiple faith-based medical charities that provide disaster relief and humanitarian service based on their set of ideals and objectives. Hindu physicians are somewhat absent because they join secular platforms. So Hindu Physician International is a platform where you can provide charitable service with dharmic foundations. You can do seva as a medical doctor. So HPI is a faith-based charity by physicians of dharmic origin to serve the entire humanity. It has a self-governing board of directors with 5 members. It is a non-profit organization registered in the state of New York. And some of our board of directors members are there. I am the president and chairperson. Dr. Rakesh Sharma, who is here, is secretary of board of directors. Dr. Vinendra Gupta is the chief financial officer. Dr. Vikas Jain is director of communications, and 4 of us are present right now. We have an international advisory board, which consists of some eminent physicians who believe in seva. Members of the International Advisory Board are chosen for their eminence in the medical field, their commitment to the cause of volunteer service, and their ability to devote time to advise the board of directors on various seva projects. Their role is purely advisory. So what do we strive to do? Do seva activities worldwide, develop rapid response medical teams, promote prevention, research, and access to treatment for common people, assist in availability of clean water, and work on environmental issues. So those of you who are based in US, kindly donate and support to HPI. You can mail a check to the PO Box address. We are a tax exempt under IRS section 501c3. If you want to get in touch, these are the coordinates. And actually you can join on our website for free as a member. In the chat, there's a link. You can click on that and you can join. So we have started a monthly distinguished physician lecture series. And today we are having a couple of physicians who are going to be talking on Ramayana and Neurosciences, which is a very intriguing subject. Now, their talk is going to be based on a book that was published in September of 2025. Ramayana, the epic journey of Ram, a sacred tale told through the lens of neuroscience, geography, and culture. Of course, this is a physicians group, so they will mainly focus on Ramayana and neurosciences. I think this is from the book, From Neuroscience Insights, Learn How Ram's Calmness, Hanuman's Courage, and Sita's Strength reflect the modern brain sciences. I'm not going to talk much about this particular book because the author himself is there. So Dr. Salil Gupta is one of the authors, and he's there with us. Dr. Salil Gupta is a very well-known physician. He was recognized by a marquee who and who top doctors for their dedication, achievements, and leadership in healthcare. He has more than 4 decades of experience as a practicing neonatologist and pediatrician. Actually, to be very frank, he comes from the same high school as I graduated from. He was 1 year senior to me. And then subsequently, he joined Maulana Azad Medical College in 1979, did his, uh, he actually did
73.
his MBBS in 1979, and MD in OBGYN actually from the same institution in 1982. He did his residency in pediatrics at University of Iowa in 87, fellowship in neonatal medicine from University of Iowa in 1990. He had been practicing in various clinical positions, and later on in September of 2020, he decided to take retirement from salaried jobs or paid jobs, but he has been unique that he has been devoting his time to charitable work, volunteering as a medical doctor, as a medical officer with various charities, and has been working with Rotary Club. He has been working with, an institution called Matthew's Home, a homeless service center where he serves as full-time medical service officer on a voluntary basis. So all his time now goes to volunteer work, and hats off to Dr. Salil Gupta. Our second author of this particular book is Dr. Shivam Dubey. Dr. Dubey is not able to join because of family emergency, but he is a Harvard-trained psychiatrist with 2 decades of experience, envisioned a space where mental health support is accessible, preventive, and community-driven. His passion for mental health wellness has shaped the community's approach, making it a trusted place for anyone looking to take proactive steps for their mind and well-being. He is known for his work in mental health advocacy, education, creating accessible resources, including what is called Mighty Champions program. His clinical expertise includes wide range of conditions such as ADHD, depression, anxiety, bipolar disorder, and PTSD. So before I hand over the platform to Dr. Salil Gupta, the mantra for HPI, Hindu Physicians International, is Sharira Madhyam Khalu Dharma Sadhanam. Body is your first temple. If you have to take care of something, take care of your body. That is your sacred uh, duty. And our focus remains on seva. So without further ado, I'm going to stop my presentation, and I am going to invite Dr. Salil Gupta for making his presentation on Ramayana and Neurosciences. I am sorry that his co-author was not able to join, but sir, the platform is yours and you can do your presentation, take whatever time you wish. After that,
Okay.
I'm sure we have a large gathering. There'll be a lot of
Yes.
questions. We will moderate all the questions through the chat room so that time is managed. But Dr. Gupta, the floor is yours.
Uh, Namaste to everyone. Jai Shri Ram. Uh, Dr. Adityanji, thank you for your a very kind introduction. And what I'd like to do is briefly talk about the concept that started this book along my discussion with Dr. Shivam Dubey. Started almost a year ago. He's into mental health education space. I am into a lot of philanthropic work as well as learning how to integrate ancient Vedic sciences into day-to-day activities and to teach young generation how to incorporate the modern science and Vedic science together. For last several years, I've been, involved in learning about our ancient shastras and learning about the different science, how it was perceived in the past, thousands of years ago, and was penned down in our Shastras, in Vedas and Upanishads, and our two major epic stories, Mahabharata and Ramayana. And when I talked to Dr. Shivam, he was approaching this from how to revive simple, basic teaching that we all grew up. You know, he's also from Delhi. We grew up 28 years apart, but very similar culture. Going to Ramlila during Dashera and Diwali and learning so many stories about our, you know, ancient cultures. And what we found was that the next generation, his kids, my kids and grandkids on the same age group, they had a lot of questions about validity of the historical truths of Ramayana. What is the message? What is the big deal about this story? How it can impact um, becoming a good human being, which is really the main principles of Sanatana Dharma, how to be a good human being and live joyfully and peacefully with all people around you. So, in that discussion, we came up with how to tell the story, and it's really meant for like a book at night, teaching your kids or grandkids simple story, because a lot of people and you know tell stories. And while they are talking, while we are talking to our kids and grandkids, this story, we try to bring the essential principles, the moral behind that principle, the current scientific neurobiology understanding of that process, how to integrate ancient wisdom with this current understanding, and have the kids think about it, have a reflection part of what did they learn from this story and how it can be applied in their day-to-day life. And so the book, I don't know how many of you had a chance to look at the book or read the book. It is available on Amazon in all countries. I will be happy to share the link if you guys want to buy the book and read. What I will there are three aspects in this book. One is the sacred tale, which is the part of Ramayana that you guys very well know, and it gets revived every year during Ram Leela. The second part is the neuroscience through the lens of academic ancient Vedic science. And the third part, which is very interesting, is the geography. There is, I don't know how many of you are familiar with, there is a Ramayana train that starts from Delhi, Nijamuddin station, goes to Ayodhya, and it goes to 17 different stations all over where Ram visited. And it is a fascinating story about finding the historical evidence of the journey of Ram through the whole of India, including Sri Lanka. And there are pictures in the book. I wish I had slides to show you. I did prepare slides, I wasn't sure. But it depicts all the train stations where the train will stop And it amazingly coincidence that we had 18 chapters, and those are all 18 stations that the train stops and give people a idea of the geography linked to movement of Ram throughout his uh, kingdom. So these three things are the key part. What I will do, if Dr. Adityanji is good, I will read um, any of the chapters that any of the participants want me to read. Very briefly, I will read the story. I will have questions about reflection. Um, and I will start with how we created the book to start with. Um, Here is the initial conversation between me and Dr. Shivam. And it goes, Salil, Shivam, before we start the story of Rama's birth, I want to ask something. People say Ram was divine, but he lived in a body like us. Was he really like us? Means, was he a physical person? Shivam, yes, Salil, Ram body was like ours. He had bones, muscles, mind, felt joy and pain. What made him special was not his body, but his Atma or the soul or the divine light. Salil, does every child has a soul? Shivam, yes. Every person is born with a divine Atma. But the problem is we forget. We start to think we are Indians, Americans, Russians, rich, poor, these labels. And in forgetting, we cover up our true self. Ram was different. He lived with the awareness that I am Atma. Salil, so this greatness wasn't simply given to him. Shivam, no, it grew like a seed turning into a mango tree. By discipline, by devotion, and by good action, Ram kept his Atma shining. That is why he remembered the truth. Aham Brahmasmi. I am the Atma, not this body. Salil. So in this chapter, when Ram is born in Ayodhya and the city celebrates, it is not only the birth of a prince, it is a reminder that every one of us is Atman. When we remember who we really are, we too can bring peace and light into the world. Um, so again, these are very basic teachings of our ancient culture that most of current generation and upcoming generation are forgetting. And this is an attempt to bring that back. At the end of this, there is a each chapter, there is a self-reflection activity. And I will just read a couple of those. And after that, I will stop if it is okay and ask if anybody wants me to read some of the moral teachings, underlying science that is in each chapter, but self-reflection activities. When was the last time you welcomed somebody into your life with the same joy, reverence, and love that Ayodhya showed for Ram? And this is like a workbook, like so people can write ideas and have a discussion. Number two, do you remember a moment when somebody's presence, like a child, a loved one, or even a memory, filled your heart with peace and purpose? And the last part of each chapter is a quiz. Again, this is really designed to reinforce learning and teaching. In my humble opinion, this is a textbook of mental health education for high schoolers. And Dr. Shivam is involved in creating a curriculum of mental health education, introducing as a subject in schools. Right now, we have about 50,000 students in schools in India who are going through a curriculum of mental health from grade 1 to grade 12. Um, and this attempt to use Ramayana is a new experiment, and we'll see how things shake out. Thank you for listening to my brief introduction of this epic journey of Ram through the neuroscience. And please feel free to ask questions. And as I said, I will be happy to read some excerpts from any of the part of the chapter. If Aditya will give me time, I will read all the let me see, all
Dr.
the
Salil, we do
chapters.
have time. We do have time, so you can take the liberty of reading excerpts from some of the chapters, especially that focus on mental health message, wellness, calmness, and
Okay,
neurosciences.
so of the 18 chapters, I am going to read the Ram's training, which is chapter 3. Oh, let's see. This is when Ram went to Gurukul for his at Vishwamitra's ashram. It is in Buxar, Bihar. And so the moral lessons in this teaching starts with courage can defeat even the greatest bully, and compassion can turn the coldest heart warm. Kak Bhushandi, who is a crow who is supposedly telling the whole story of Rama originally, then asked, even science whispers the same truths. When Ram faced Ardka, his steady breath, calm focus were more than bravery. They were in control over the amygdala, the brain's alarm center. Using the prefrontal cortex, the thinking brain, today we know this as emotional regulation. So when Ram faced Ahilya, that act of kindness was not only spiritual, it was chemical. Modern research shows such moments release oxytocin, the trust and empathy hormone, both in the giver as well as in receiver. As the Ahilya's heart filled with relief, so does kindness transforms our mind. I will read one more and then I will stop. This is the time when Ram was asked to go in the exile. So, moral of this verse, Ram teaches us that the real strength lies in keeping our word and choosing dharma, the righteousness, even when it is not in your best interest and you are in pain. What is dharma? The force that holds the cosmos together. Derived from the root dra, meaning to hold, to support, or sustain. Dharma is not just a moral principle, it is the unseen thread that holds the entire cosmos in harmony. Just as gravity binds the planet in orbit, just as electromagnetism governs light and energy, just as DNA preserves the design of life, Dharma governs the unseen order of existence. It is the spiritual principle of gravity pulling every soul towards truth, justice, and purpose. The science insight at the time when Ram was asked to leave, when somebody is betrayed or faces sudden loss, which is what we recurrently experience now, the brain's fear center become active. Other emotions like anger, associated retaliation also emerges. But Ram showed emotional regulation. He stayed composed and chose calm acceptance. This activated his prefrontal cortex, the brain's reasoning center. Today, the scientists call this response mindful coping. By accepting what we cannot change and focusing on our core values, the underlying stress reduces. Ram's calmness also helped Sita and Lakshman to stay strong. This, in contemporary neuroscience, is called co-regulation, where one person's inner peace spreads to other. I want to read one more at about Hanuman. Hanuman in Lanka, chapter 12. So, as you know, when he went and he found Sita ji and he brought the message, and then he was caught, and then he, returned after he burned the whole Lanka. The moral of the story, it shows true devotion does not fear kings or fire. Hanuman teaches us that when our heart burns with truth and love, we can carry and express strength that no one can stop. Science insight. Hanuman shows how emotion can fuel action. Remember, emotion, E followed by motion. Neuroscience says that purpose-driven emotion like love and loyalty activate brain energy centers that makes the body faster, stronger, and more resilient. In Hanuman's sleep and firewalk, his mind was focused by devotional arousal, a state in which heart, brain, body work in complete harmony. That is why devotion can feel more powerful than any fear. And I will read some of the reflection questions following this. Have you ever done something brave because your heart told you it was the right thing? And again, these are teaching points for young minds, and I will say young adults, and humbly will request that it is good for all of us. Think about a moment when love or care for someone gave you the courage to act. How did it feel to follow your heart? Number 2, Hanuman never gave up even when he was captured. What helped you stay strong when things get hard? A very lifetime lesson. Is it a memory, a person you believe in, a goal you care about? Write down or think of one thing that keeps your fire and hope alive in difficult times. Number three, Hanuman did not act for praise, he acted for Ram. What is something you do just because it feels right, not for reward? Question mark. Helping someone, speaking the truth, staying loyal to a friend, that's devotion. Number four, if someone lit your inner fire like Ram's love did for Hanuman, what would you feel ready to do? Is there a mission or a goal or a dream that you have chased if you believe in yourself like Hanuman did about Ram? So at this point, Adityanji, I will stop and
Okay.
we'll take some questions, some comments, and any particular chapter, insight, science, ancient Vedic teaching behind that, I will be happy to answer. And I'm sure you can answer some of those questions.
So, Dr. Salil, I'll start with a question of mine since I don't see many questions in the chat room. The question
Okay,
is, how was Lord Ram's response when his own brother gets hurt during the war and is comatose?
right,
How do we handle that? And what do you have to say about the way he dealt with that crisis? Because all of us have challenges dealing the crises in life, and our responses determine whether we successfully overcome the crisis or we become a victim of the crisis.
right. Very good question. And I think it is a extremely important teaching point how we initially react to a crisis and how we calm yourself down and become aware of your emotions. Once you become self aware, then you can start regulating your emotions. And then you are able to do what we call problem solving. And in that example, he initially was very reactive. He was in shock that his brother is hurt. Uh, but he calmed himself down. He started finding solutions and he reached to his group of people, found that there is a way. Again, that brings our ancient Vedic management treatment system. There was a Ved who knew that a Sanjeevani booty can bring back Lakshman, and that is what happened. His association with and collaboration with like-minded people is essential for all of us to deal with stresses of day-to-day life.
There's a
I hope,
comment. Yeah, it answered the question very beautifully. There's a comment slash suggestion from one of our board members, Dr. Vikas Jain. What he is suggesting that if you can come out with a 5-minute video talking about
right?
how this book can help the people with mental resilience and well-being. Would you be willing to
Yes,
do that with your co-author?
abs- absolutely. I will. I will. I think we have few videos, uh, but let me focus on the resilience part and make a video on uh, what the teaching is for resilience.
Uh,
Great,
I
great
have
suggestion.
I think people would like, a short video that, visually they can
Yeah,
see what is the relevance and that will help them, focus on reading the book, etc. There's one more question
yes,
I will ask you. Uh, the story of Lord Ram is not just story of Lord Ram. There's another person involved,
right,
and uh, it is stated that The person who was at fault, Ravan, was a great learned man.
Right.
If we read the story, uh, this great learned man, over a period of time, despite his wisdom and all, becomes very arrogant and self centered.
Right.
In view of this, what, let's say, advice you would like to give to the readers how your achievements become negligible if your ego takes over your personality and you are not able to discriminate between right and wrong?
Very good. Um, Let me open. I think this is chapter 17, the fall of Ravan, the end of arrogance. And I'll just read from the book about the moral. The Ravan's strength did not lie in his 10 heads. His fall lie in his unwillingness to let go of his pride. When we choose truth over ego, we find peace. Vibhishna's honesty and Ram's calm focus showed that knowledge and humility are more powerful than sheer force. Ravana's heads can be seen as symbolic of many thoughts inside our minds. When we act from false pride or anger, they multiply, just like his head. However, in contrast, Vibhishna's wisdom was missing the information that Ram needed to win over Ravana's large army. In modern decision making, this reflects strategical intelligence, solving a problem not just with power, but with deep insight. Rama's success came through listening, adapting, and then acting, the key to all wise leadership. I hope I touched on the question you were asking.
Yes, you did. Yes, you did. There's a question from Professor Yash Gupta, who is generally based in London, currently in Delhi. He has been on our platform. He has delivered a lecture on our platform earlier, and he is asking you a question. Have you researched into birth of Lord Ram?
Uh, yes, I have. I don't know what specifically he is mentioning. Um, there are ancient wisdom stories behind the birth of Ram in our traditional uh, culture. We we think he is one of the uh, 10 common avatars of Mahavishnu, and he was born to deal with the predominance of asuras like Ravan, who were helping to conquer the whole world and convert and destroy the the devtas and the people who were following dharma. So when the adharma was winning, um, it was uh, the reason for Ram's incarnation. Go ahead, Yash Gupta.
This is supplementary
Yeah.
from Dr. Yash Gupta. Please go ahead, Dr. Gupta.
Sorry. Yeah. Oh, thank you. It was a very nicely narrated thing, and I must read it because you've actually related our day-to-day living and dilemmas in relation to Rama's life, which is absolutely fabulous. Uh, but and I had done some work as well to actually looking at the real events which happened. So, how can we tell whether it's actually happened? So, I rely on the scriptures. So, if we want to know about Rama's life, what do we read? Valmiki's Ramayana, isn't it?
Right. Yes.
Okay, Tulsidasi wrote it, but that was much later and based on Valmiki's Ramayana. But
Yes.
what the facts are there in Valmiki Ramayana, which was written like thousands of years ago. So if we look at the Balkand, we look at chapter 18 and we look at verses 8, 9, 10 in Balkan. So 1.18.8, they describe the nakshatra situation at the time of birth of Rama.
Right.
So there was a chap called Dr. Bhatnagar. He did a lot of work. He's passed away now. And he put those nakshatras into a planetarium software, which is a NASA software. And he
Right.
actually came up, it churned a date when all
Right.
the nakshatras matched. So it put out a date of 5114 BC, 10th January 5114 BC, around 12 noon. That's the
Right.
date and time which it churned out. So I thought that was very significant because, as you were saying in your initial conversation, whether Ram was actually a person, or is it just a myth? So I think this kind of historical correlation with the scriptures, I am deeply interested in that then we can authentically say, well, look, nobody can question it. Here is written in black and white, and you can even calculate the date and the time of Rama's birth. So scriptures tell us a lot, and within the shlokas, all the information is given. So that's what I
Beautiful.
mentioned. Yeah.
Beautiful. I must congratulate you for bringing this point. There are multiple authors who have done research on the nakshatra position
Mm-hmm.
and correlating with, because of the software, we can correlate exactly date and time, not only Rama's, but Krishna's later
Yeah.
on. And,
Yes.
and there is a whole field of astrocosmology.
Yes.
And from multiple sources, it has been confirmed that there is a historical, authentic figure like Ram and like Krishna.
Yes.
So our stories are stories, but are based on historical facts. And the
Yes.
geography, the archaeology, the epidemiology, there are multiple finds. That is why it is fascinating. If you go through these train stations, you go and look at
Yes.
some of these sites,
Yes.
there are evidence, archaeological evidence, which match what's in our scriptures.
Exactly. Absolutely. Absolutely.
So I don't call this Ramayana and Mahabharata a story. These are like a movie they make and they say it's
So,
based on real
I'll tell
events.
you an anecdote. We actually visited Rameshwaram, and then we visited a
Yes,
place called Dhanushkodi.
Dhanashkoti. Yes, it's in there.
That's where the bridge actually starts, from
Right,
Dhanushkodi. And we
right,
visited a temple, which was like an ancient temple, and there was a priest like 100-year-old, and he brought us the floating stones. So I actually got them. I've actually seen them floating. So then
yeah,
I looked at it, and it was like a coral. It was a coral stone, but it
exactly.
was very strong. Normally coral stones are crumbly, but this is a special coral stone. So there was in Dhanushkoti, there was a establishment, British establishment, about 250 years ago. There was a पूरी वो छावनी थी और वहाँ पे
Anji.
church थी. लेकिन there was a storm which destroyed everything, and they never kind of rebuilt it. That's why there is no train or road connection to Dhanushkoti. You have to go by 4x4. So then I
Right.
was looking at ruins of a church which was built by British, and I found the exact stones used in the reconstruction of the church.
I think
So
the
I've got the
point is very
photographs
well
of,
taken that it should not be considered just a story. It should not be just considered
yeah,
which our Western counterparts try to do that. It is mythology. It is not
Yeah.
mythology.
No,
It
no.
is
It is itihas.
itihasa. It
It
is
does happen.
itihasa, how it happened. And yes,
It
there
happened.
are now, with modern techniques, scientific evidences, proofs that all this was based on true happenings. It's a true story. Let's move on to the next question. It is from Dr. Vikas Jain. Mental stress is very common nowadays. How can this book help the youth learn how to deal with mental stress?
All that is a great question, and I think the every chapter before and after is a testament that it is going to be helpful for young people to understand the principle behind emotional regulation, the simple principles about what is stress, how it impacts us, how you can regulate these emotions, how to calm yourself and connect to the decision maker, the higher planning, higher executive function. So yes, I 100% agree that this book is really designed exactly for that purpose. And I wish, Dr. Jain, if you had a chance to take a look at the book and go through the chapters, it it will it will resonate with this idea. And as somebody had suggested, we will work on making a brief introductory video about all the mental steps, health steps. We do have a existing program. It's called Mental Health Certification Program, and I can send you a link. It's something that we have designed for kids, for adults, for physicians, for healthcare workers, how to learn these what we call 10 basic skills to response to stress in a positive, healthier way and not succumb to the downstreaming that happens after stress, leading to anxiety, depression, and other issues.
There are more
Thank you
interesting,
for
yeah, there are more interesting questions coming. And there is a question by Dr. Suresh. Would you like to comment on mental condition of Kekai and manipulative Manthara from the story of Ramayana?
yes. Um, this is where the ancient wisdom of divine play happens. It's Kakai was extremely loving and caring for Ram more than for Bharat, her own son. Um, in weak moments, we can fall for temptations of lower quality thoughts, of selfish thoughts. And mantra is was an example that she came up with ideas that overrode Kakai's love and devotion to Ram. And what I learned from that is that being good takes a lot of courage and self-awareness, and people can take advantage of you. So it's important to know what the boundaries are and to work through the complexities of interactional day-to-day life. What mantra was able to do was overcome Kankai's good judgment and introduce a concept which was extremely selfish in nature. I hope that is in the direction of the answer that Sureshji is asking.
Okay. I have one more question for you, Dr. Salil. Just like
Yes,
Dr. Gupta asked you about the, uh,
history.
condition of Lord Ram's birth in Ayodhya and correlated with the planetarium software, proving that
Right.
it was actually historical fact. While we are living in today's era, there has been, and let's be very frank, there has been a lot of critique from Western feminists about Lord Ram. Specifically, that critique pertains to his letting Sitaji go.
Right.
And we consider Lord Ram as Maryada Purushottam.
Mhm.
How would you reconcile this somewhat biased modern feminist critique of Lord Ram?
In order to understand the relationship between Ram and Sita and the concept of the role and duties of a king versus roles and duties of individual people uh, as a person. So what Rama had to make a decision was, as a king, he had a responsibility and duty for each and every citizen of his kingdom. And in order to do that, when you are in a public figure, when you are the chief administrator, you have to take care of your citizens apart from your own personal family life. So his decision to let Sita ji leave Ayodhya at the once they come back, and that's not in the book, obviously. It basically ends when Ram returns to Ayodhya. But in my studies and understanding, it was a culture at that time, a culturally accepted aspect of personal life versus your king's duty life. And he chose to let go of his personal life or his duties as a king. Uh, I hope that's what you were referring to.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
There's another suggestion for you about possibility of bringing out an audio version of the book, that people can just listen to.
Yes. So it is available on Kindle. I am not sure we have gone into the next step for Audible, but it is available as an ebook. And there are a lot of apps which will read it for you.
While we have some time, I will
From
ask
the
you
plate,
one more.
that plate.
I think somebody's audio is not
Yeah,
muted.
this is Mr. Brahm Agrawal, my mentor.
Okay.
Uncle Ji, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was just saying that this letting Sita go is not in Valmiki Ramayana. Tulsi added that. It doesn't make sense. So people, are emotional, so they talk about it. But Ram could, just imagine if he let her go, then not to worry about what was happening to her till the last. So many, two children were born and they were grown up. He's supposed to take care of the whole praja, but then she was part of the praja. So I think trying to justify what he did uh, is okay, but really, that's not Valmiki Ramayana. The teachings, see, another way to look at it is that Valmiki wanted to give us the art of living, the teachings.
Right.
So, how do we live our life?
Thank you very much indeed, Brahmaji, for your contribution. We still have some time, and there are a couple of observations here. There is a comment by someone, the name is not there, but he is writing, there is thinking that the story of Dhobi was invented and introduced by one ode of the Indic religion scholars. So there have been a lot of insinuations that certain things were added afterwards, and that the story of the washerman making allegations or making observation, was that part of the original Valmiki Ramayana, or that was later on added. Any comments from you, Dr. Gupta?
Yeah, I think it's
Uh,
if they say, oh, sorry, Dr. Salil Gupta is also.
Either
no,
of
no,
Dr.
no.
Guptas. Both of
Sorry,
you are Dr. Guptas.
sorry. Go ahead,
Go
Dr.
ahead,
Salil.
Dr. Yash. No, I don't have any
Okay,
comment.
so
I think Mr.
in a way,
Brahmagawal
I
was
think
saying this.
in a way, if they are raising this question that Rama should not have done this, then they are believing the story. So in a way, it's in a different way, it's kind of good thing that actually believe, because if you don't believe the story, then the question doesn't arise of this morality.
Right.
Dr.
Yeah.
Salil Gupta had beautifully answered the question about duties, as a king versus,
Rajadharma. Yeah,
yeah,
that is
duties.
the standard
Yeah.
explanation. But I'll just quote one more thing. I met a professor of history from Oxford. I mean, that's a very big position. And I worked as a plastic surgeon in Oxford. And so I asked him, I said, look, you're a professor of history in Oxford. Can you tell me the date of Mahabharata war? You know what his answer was? His answer
Uh-huh.
was, Mahabharata war is a myth.
Yeah.
He said, Dr. Gupta, I think it's
Well,
a myth. So,
this is exactly what we are saying, that this is not
so,
my
so
story. These are
listen
not.
what happened then next. So I told him, I said, look, if I told you that it happened in 3139 BC, what would you say to that? And that we have proof of that now. So he said, oh, it is before the Egyptians. मैंने कहा तेरी सुई तो इजिप्शियंस पे अटकी हुई है, you
Yeah, yeah,
can't
I
think.
know.
हाँ, सो उसको फिर मैंने 1 घंटा लगा के समझाया कि व्हाट आर द प्रूफ वी हैव ऑफ महाभारता वॉर. So I think we should also make a concerted effort in spreading the what is written in our scriptures, and that they are ancient scriptures. Mahabharata was written 5,100 years ago. So no modification has occurred. Similarly, in Valmiki's Ramayana, no modification has occurred. But nobody has can go. You can't go through Ramayana, thousands and thousands of verses, checking them all. So it becomes easy target. But I think we should. Your point is absolutely right that what we can learn from Rama's life and his dilemmas and tribulations, but also we should establish the historical continuity of our Sanatan. In fact, I'm in the process of writing my second book. My first book, which Dr. Dityanji invited me to present, was Science in Sanskrit Scriptures. That was my first book. So I researched for 12 years and found all the shlokas related to the concepts of medicine, surgery, astronomy, mathematics, atoms, everything. I wrote 12 chapters in there. But my passion is to be able to find what is written in scriptures and correlate it with, modern thinking.
Thank you, Dr. Yash Gupta. We are coming to the
Thank
end of
you.
this
Thank you.
presentation.
Thank you very much.
My,
Be
my
in touch.
heartfelt thanks to Dr. Salil Gupta and his co-author, Dr. Shivam Dubey, who took time off from their schedules and chose to write this book, which serves as a message to all of us in how to deal with mental health issues, how to maintain calmness with equipoise, and how to deal with moral dilemmas that confront you at some point in time. So I'm sorry that Dr. Shivam Dubey, because of family emergency, could not join. But I'm very, very thankful to Dr. Shivam Gupta and Dr. Shivam Dubey and Dr. Salil Gupta for authoring this book and bringing it to our attention. We hope that you will continue to work in this direction. But we enjoyed this session. My heartfelt thanks to all the audience members. We had almost 34, 35 people join at some point in time. So thank you, everyone. I just want to assure you that we will keep on bringing distinguished Hindu physicians every month for a lecture like this. We will invite all of you to join our organization. There's a link in the chat room. Membership is free. All you have to do is fill up your detail on the membership form. There's no charge for membership. Please do seva on Hindu platform under the banner of Sanatan Dharma, not on secular platforms. You are all physicians, hardworking. You provide a lot of charitable, services to humanity, but do on a faith-based banner like Hindu Physicians International. Thanks a lot, everyone. I'm going to end this meeting now. And my request to board members is that please use the other link for the board meeting, which is going to start after this. Thank you very much indeed.
Thank you, Dr. Adityanji.
Thank you, Dr. Salil Gupta.